hip-hop minute.
Earthlings, what's up?
It's your man SKYZOO.
Thurs 92 crew. This is Sasha Mackey.
Yo, this is K Mayfield, Mania Music Group. What's good, people? This is your man 49 Live and Direct.
Nairobi from the Trifold Class.
I am Eternia from my mother's womb.
This is Dead End Hip Hop.
Dead End Hip Hop.
Dead End Hip Hop. Rockin' with Dead End Hip Hop.
Shout out to Dead End Hip Hop. Dead End Hip Hop.
Dead End Hip Hop. Dead in Hip Hop.
What's up, everybody? I'm Marjorie. Okay. Hey. Anybody else want to say?
I'm trying to let you do your thing, girl.
So the question and answer webisode we did last week for our 1-year anniversary show was really successful. So we decided to incorporate that into our weekly show. This question comes from Lewis Rowland and Raina McGee from Ireland. What is each of you guys' favorite album of all time and why?
That's just kind of hard, man. Like, come on.
You don't have a favorite album of all time. Like,
Of all time, like, if I can just say this is number,
this
come
is
on,
like
man.
my album of all time. I can say Reasonable Doubt without any question.
I would say Reasonable Doubt. And
I
it's
can
your
say
favorite.
it's my favorite album of all time. Now I don't even have to think about it.
Yo, what is yours?
Reasonable Doubt is my favorite album of all time.
All time.
Yes.
All albums, hip hop albums
All
ever.
time.
Nothing will never touch that for you. No album will
I
ever.
can think of plenty of albums that can touch it, but if I wanted to, that's my favorite one. Cause I can say, yeah, I can say NWA Straight Outta Compton.
There's a lot of albums.
I mean, there's a lot of albums, but if I really had to say one,
If it was one album you had to be stuck with for the rest of your life, that would be your
tell
album.
me what my scar like this.
I know. But
Dang, I
here,
ain't even ready.
like,
Mine is actually Jay-Z the Black Album. I could listen to that anytime. So that's first Pitbull. Who's the one that went with it? Who sings that song? You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna think the same way Rod did. The album that I can put on at any point, at any time, and just not be annoyed. I'd have to say it would have to be Company Flows from Crusher Plus. That album never gets old to me. I can always put it on and vibe to it. You know, like B said, if it was one album I had to be stuck with the rest of my life, that would probably have to be it. But that's still a fucking difficult ass question. But I'm still good with that.
I truly have no fucking clue.
Then just say one of your favorites you can put on at any time and just be happy.
I mean, I'm trying to do that.
Just give him one. You said Raise the Chronic. Let's go with that, B.
Yeah.
I'm saying, we're gonna be here all day. I'm going to pee. When I'm done peeing, you can be done.
I gotta get stuck with the Chronic though. Oh yeah, go to B, man.
if I had to pick an album that I could just put on anytime, it would be Nas Illmatic.
I knew you was gonna say
Yeah,
that.
I knew it too.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like we know you, man. Like I knew you was gonna say that.
No, because I was gonna say Low End Theory.
Okay, but I'm saying like you know, if we,
It's not a surprise.
yeah, it's not a surprise you picked that.
Pete, extra long too. You still?
All right, man. I guess I'll go with
Hold on. See. All right.
I go with America's Most Wanted. Mainly because I really just listened to the album this week and it just really brought back, just took me way back, man. Back when when I was a teenager, I used to listen to that, man. I just love that intro when he came. Yeah, I just love the intro, man. It was like, with you got the last words, and then he just like, fuck all y'all, and then she just went. So, if I had to pick one that I could put on and just ride out to, America's Most Wanted.
You an angry ass motherfucker.
If you have a question that you would like answered, you can email us at ask@deadandhiphop.com, and your question just might make the show.
Is piracy or downloading bad for hip hop? This conversation kind of spearheaded from basically the Soper conversation we had on the Q&A show, and there were a lot of differences of opinion. C-Town, went back and forth with a couple of people. about it. So we decided to just toss it out there. So I know I spoke to you, and you seem to have a pretty strong viewpoint on downloading, leaks, piracy, whatever you want to call it.
You know, I don't think piracy is all the way bad for hip hop. You know, I don't think it's all the way bad. The main reason why I don't think it's all the way bad is because, you know, how Ken said in the Q&A show, the hip hop industry is really running on an antiquated system that it doesn't work for 2012 and how the landscape of getting your music has changed. You know what I'm saying? You don't really go to the record store anymore and buy a physical CD, or it's all about downloading this, that, and the third. And I think that it helps hip hop because it's almost like a filter for supporting the artists that you like. You know what I'm saying? Because the old way of promoting an artist was make a music video, drop your radio cuts, and you know you would sell albums based on the strength of that. But sometimes you would buy an album and it would suck, and the only thing that was good was the video and the songs that you hear on the radio, but the rest of the shit was trash. So to me, I think it's good because it allows the consumer to basically listen to it, and then if I like it, I'll buy it. I'll support this artist. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody does it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, not everybody does it. But, you know, I think that it's something that they should look into to try to figure it out. Because if iTunes gives you, you know, a little preview of the song. You know what I'm saying? They don't give you the whole song. They don't give you the whole album, but they give you previews. Yeah. So, you know, you don't buy a car without test driving it. You don't do nothing without at least testing it. A phone, anything. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not saying that you should... I just think that the model doesn't work, and I think that piracy could be a tool to help hip hop. At least, you know what I'm saying, to support artists that, you know, deserve it. You know, that have good quality albums out.
Piracy. Maybe we should say download, because you know, piracy is such a strong word. It's like.
Let's not mince words or play semantics.
I was just gonna try to.
Shit.
No politics, no BS.
I just
soften it up a little bit.
No, ain't no point in softening it up. If you motherfuckers are uploading albums that the artist did not give you permission to upload, right, and you're offering it to thousands of people to download, that's piracy. Let's not play. I do agree with him to a degree that it does help because it gets your name out there more. A lot of artists would be nowhere without piracy. Flat out, you know, point blank period. But at the same time, man, if an artist is telling you, man, you know, I don't want you uploading my shit and offering it for free, then don't fucking do it, man. It's that simple. Just like you said, you don't buy a car without test driving it. Yeah, you also don't fucking steal a car. You don't walk into a lot and say, you know what, I really like that car. I think I deserve that shit for free, so I'm gonna take it.
If it's an artist that I like and they come out with an album, and if it's leaked out 2 weeks before it, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy the album when it comes out. I like that old school feeling where I used to go to the CD store and, you know, buy the CD, listen to it, and enjoy it, man. So, you know what I'm saying? I like that.
So, hold on. So if it got leaked and you got the leak and you didn't like it, you still gonna buy it?
I'm not gonna listen to the leak though.
So you never listen to leaks?
No, I like to buy the. Well, nah.
So you like to be surprised, basically?
Yeah, I mean that's the feeling. I like that feeling of getting the album and being surprised and like, oh shit, this shit dope. Oh damn, this shit dope too.
Yeah, I can't
co-sign
that one.
Yeah,
I'm usually on your side.
Yeah, but
I can't
like
co-sign that
feel. I like having that. I like being surprised and hearing a dope album. You know, like
you like being mad.
Yeah, that's what I'm
There's been a few albums that
I was about to go there. It's been albums
right.
before, you know, back in the day I brought, and I'd be like, man, this was some piece of shit. I can't believe I wasted $12 on this bullshit.
Hard-earned $12.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's someone that you're a fan of, you know what I'm saying, you know, Company Flow, Elzai, whatever, you're gonna buy it off the strip because I'm a fan. I want to support this artist, so I'm gonna buy the music. You know, Nas, Jay-Z come out. You don't care if it leaked out. You gonna buy the album. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a fan of that artist.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in agreement with B. Only like I do remember the old days when you could go to the store and you just like remember you would just pick something out just because of the fucking cover art. You'd be like, oh man, this has got to be good. That's how I found Farside's album. I'm like, man, this on a roller coaster. This shit's got to be good. And you were right. But then sometimes you would grab some shit and you'd be extremely wrong.
That you spent that
you'd be pissed off because you pick something off the strength of the cover and you get it home and it's horrible. But nowadays, if something, I will be honest, I will download an album, and if I don't like it, I'm not gonna buy it. It's gonna get deleted. But I'm a completist too, so like B, if it's one of my favorite artist, even if the album is not that great, I'll still buy it. Just because I want to have all of their shit. But I definitely, if it's an album that I really enjoy, I'm paying money for it. Because then, if I don't, I feel like I can't complain about hip-hop being bad. Because I'm not supporting hip-hop that's good. You see what I'm saying? So I don't understand these dudes who really feel like they deserve to have a right for free. Yeah, like because I can get it for free, I have the right to have it free. No, you don't, man. You don't have the right to do shit. Like, you should be supporting stuff that you like. Or don't complain when you hear shit that's bad.
If you delete an album from your hard drive after you listen to it, does that excuse the fact that you basically still condone piracy?
How do I condone piracy?
I mean, you downloaded it, which adds to the count of downloads, which further...
The issue I have with piracy, again, I like the fact that it does give you the chance to sample, but then you can still go to YouTube and do that if you really want to. People always have tracks up there, but discount YouTube. It does give you the chance to sample an album and see if you actually like it before you buy it. But let's not be in this fucking fantasy Peter Pan world and really pretend that people are really going out, downloading the album, and being like, man, I really like this, and then immediately going and buying it. We know goddamn well that's a minority. People aren't doing that. They're downloading the shit for free, and they're keeping it for free, and they're leaving it at that. You know, I know people who have sold off their entire record and CD collections and just have MP3s. Thousands and thousands of CDs they've gotten rid of. I know goddamn well they didn't go buy all that shit. They went and downloaded it. Now, do I get on my high horse and preach to them? Nah, man. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's your call. But you have no right whatsoever to complain about your favorite artist, quitting putting out albums or starting to put out whack shit because his dope shit was making no money, so therefore he now feels like he has to jump on the bandwagon and put out a fucking ringtone track because, how else am I going to get on the radio? How else am I going to get people to buy my shit?
Fuck that. How else am I going to be able to make a sandwich?
How am I going to eat?
Yeah.
When your favorite rapper is now ringing you up for some fucking draws at Walmart, it's your fucking fault. You didn't go support him by buying his CDs. You didn't go support him by going to his concerts. You didn't go support him by buying a t-shirt. Right. It's your fucking fault that these dudes are nowhere.
It's simple, man. Support the artists. They can continue to make dope music.
Yeah,
it's just.
But it's also the climate that we are in now.
The internet climate. The internet age. The internet age is great, but we're not in a climate of stealing shit.
But piracy has always existed, right?
To a degree, but not like it has now. Yeah. Because back in the day, you couldn't really pirate a whole album. Yeah, you had the cassette dubs.
And the thing is that the internet made the shit global. You see what I'm saying? Like, back in the day, could we pirate shit off the radio?
Go to a corner and buy, three CDs for $15.
Bootlegging, true.
It's the same thing. The only thing is it's just went online, though.
It wasn't as wrong. Yeah, exactly. The internet just made it global. Think about it. You can think about it. Rod has all of Sahai's mixtapes because he had it, you know what I'm saying, when he used to go to the same barbershop that he went to. So he has stuff that we don't have. But what I'm talking about, even if it was an album, even if it was an independent album, he had it, right? All he had to do was just upload it, and people start seeding it, and it goes global. If he were to sell it on the street, it's not the same, so it doesn't have the same impact.
But that gives that artist a chance to market himself globally, right? Mm-hmm. And probably acquire fans that he may or may not have ever had a chance to touch or reach.
And then what?
Yeah, but he's not getting paid off.
Right. So then what? How's he going to get over there to play a show for those guys so he can make some money? Right. How's he going to do that? Unless he signs to a major, right? So
there are plenty of guys that are taking advantage of this type of atmosphere.
Like websites like Bandcamps is good.
Yeah, I think that we are now evolving into where we can make the technology work. And what I think, back to what FIFO was saying, is that the record labels, the majors, have not adapted to it. And yeah, some are now. Some are using SoundCloud to upload songs, like Monica and Brandy's new song was uploaded on SoundCloud. So they can control that. So I think if these artists and labels take advantage of this technology and take advantage of places like Bandcamp and like SoundCloud, it gives them a chance to basically have free market research on a level that they were unable to have back in the day.
This is the kind of shit that drives me crazy. You are the criminal that has gone into the store and stole a bag of chips and said, you know what? It's your fault for not having a good security system. You know what I'm saying? You're basically saying that it's okay to do this shit because the labels have not adapted.
When have I said that, though?
You just did.
I didn't.
You just said
that. I said that the technology. Yeah, I said the major label. We all know the major labels have not adapted to it.
That doesn't excuse motherfuckers stealing their albums.
No, Mike. I think you slightly misinterpreted what Ken was saying. Ken was saying that the music industry hasn't completely taken advantage of the technology, but he said that some have, like the Monica and who else did you say?
Yeah, but that's fine. But how does that relate back to piracy?
Well, because he's saying that some major music corporations are starting to do this, so that now they have market research that they didn't have.
Even if they don't do that, it doesn't matter if they're taking advantage of the internet climate or not. We do not have the fucking right to go take their shit.
But what has happened, and FIFO touched on this, is the fact that both of you guys, you create an album, you put out an album, you put out one fucking hot ass song, and you sell it to people. You're selling it to the radio, you're selling it to the DJs and everybody else. They go buy that album, and that's all they get is that one freaking song. This is the reason why iTunes is so big right now, because it gives the consumer choice. And what Piracy is doing, or what it has done to a certain degree, it has given consumers choice.
Once again,
I'm not saying it's right.
Yeah, but it sounds like you're giving excuses. Because you're saying that it's giving people choice. That's great. We already touched on that. That's wonderful. But at the same time, I want to go back to your business model standpoint. I agree with you that record labels have not adapted to the current standard of how we get music. They haven't adapted. But at the same time, we cannot use that as an excuse to say, well, that's why I fucking go download shit for free.
That's why downloading has become so popular now, because people are tired of being abused by the crap that people are putting.
Okay, but first of all, let's not try to act like people are only downloading major label albums, because that's a load of shit.
No.
We all know goddamn well that people are downloading indie and underground albums too. So that's why that logic, it only works if we're talking about fucking Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, and goddamn and Jay-Z and Lil Wayne.
Everybody is included.
Exactly, but okay, so you're telling me right now that when you have a label like Duck Down, you're saying that it's unless they can adapt to the current standards of how we download music, that we kind of have a right to go grab their shit, or that the person that's downloading shit can't be blamed because they haven't adapted? That's a load of crap. You're stealing, point blank fucking period. You cannot blame the fucking record label because you decided to go download their album.
So at what point is it not stealing? Is it when you go buy their album, or is it when you delete that album from your hard drive?
When I go buy their album.
So when you delete it,
because
is that not stealing?
I'm not going to say that I'm not going to support everybody. If there's an artist that I've never fucking heard of, like I said, I can go to YouTube and listen to their tracks and see if I like it. Is that stealing?
No.
Thank you. So now if I go and I download the album and listen to it just like I could have done on YouTube and deleted it because I didn't want to support that album, is that stealing?
Yes.
That makes no sense, Ken.
How does it not make sense?
It's piracy. Either way, I'm listening to the album.
Oh, no. Now you're trying to flip this. Come on, man. If we're saying downloading. It's not downloading illegal.
Yes, downloading is
so
illegal.
When you download the album, are you not committing an illegal activity?
I'm committing an illegal activity, but in the realm of this conversation, talking about whether or not I want to steal an album or support an album, no.
So my question is, so when does it not become stealing? When you delete it?
Are we talking like again,
when you delete it, or when you buy it?
Are we talking about a law thing, or are we talking about an ethics thing? Those are two different things.
When do we try to condone the actions that we do to fit what we're doing, to make so that when we wake up at the day, we feel better about ourselves?
So
that's
we're
what it is.
Talking about ethics. Like I said, you cannot talk about law and ethics at the same time. Which one are we picking? We're picking law or ethics.
If
we're picking law, then none of us should be speaking right now because
we're
we
talking
all
on the
do
action of piracy.
Piracy
is ethical, and piracy
you can never
piracy
answer a direct question. If we are talking about, if we're sticking to a standard of law, is it illegal to download, period? Yes, of course it is. At that time, then all of us are thieves. If we're talking about ethics, right? I'm talking about, is it ethical to download an album without supporting the artist? No. But it's also, I'm not going to go out and buy every single fucking album that I see. That's common fucking sense. Right. I'm not gonna go into Tower Records or wherever and buy every single hip hop album I see. That's just not how it works. Now, like I said, I can go any day. You know who has that kind of money to just walk up in Turtles and buy everything they fucking see? Not me. Do you?
No.
Okay. So if I can either go to YouTube and listen to every single song on YouTube and then decide if I want to buy the album, I can do that. But that's really fucking time consuming. Or I can go download the album, see if I like it. And if I like it, I will go purchase it. If I do not like it, it gets deleted. There is no difference between those two things. Either way, I'm just listening to the album. My problem comes in when you go and grab an album for an artist that you like and you don't give them any money for it. So I'm sticking to ethics. If you want to stick to law, then this conversation is fucking pointless. Because you're a thief, I'm a thief, he's a thief, they're all thieves. So why are we even talking?
That's what I'm saying. If it's somebody I'm a fan of, I'm going to buy the album regardless. I mean, it don't even matter who it is. Like I said, Nas. If it's a Nas album, I'm buying it.
You can't think so fucking black and white with this conversation.
Yeah,
and you're trying to stick to it is, but then why are you trying to stick to this lawyer talk?
It's not lawyer talk.
When is it?
It's not lawyer talk.
When is it stealing? At what point is it stealing?
Because I think it's relevant. It's relevant to the conversation. Is piracy bad for hip hop? And if so, in what form or fashion?
Then you're talking about ethics. Is piracy wrong? Yes. Is piracy bad for hip hop? Not always. It's not so black and white. So your question of at what point does it become stealing is fucking gray.
The gray area is checking it out and getting people that we probably would never hear of. Right. Like I said about, how I said about Sahai. You know what I'm saying? I never heard of Sahai before, and he been heard about Sahai. So what if he uploaded all that shit and Sahai would have been blew up before he did? You see what I'm saying? So that in that aspect, it would have helped them. Right. It would have helped them, but at the same time, it hurts people as well. Right. So that's the gray area because it can be a great tool, but at the same time, it can hurt everybody. But hold on, I'm not done yet. See, you have to look at what Apple did and how they transformed the music industry. You know what I'm saying? They made everything seamless. They give you fucking previews of all the music, and the majority of the shit that you want to listen to is on iTunes. Even the indie underground niggas. Brother Ali's on there. I bought Action Bronson off of iTunes. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, to me, a lot of these companies need to start looking at what Apple has done. I'm not saying that that'll work for everybody, and I'm not saying that's the answer and be all of everything. I'm not saying that. But Apple adapted, and Apple changed the music industry in terms of making downloads relevant and actually getting paid for them. And you don't have to buy a whole album. You could buy one song. Right. That one song that you heard on the radio, the one song that you saw the video of, you could buy that one shit if you like it that much.
And why is Apple so successful with that?
Apple is successful because they changed the climate to
they gave the consumer choice.
Exactly, and that's why I say I agree with you. Is that the consumer does need choice, and that these big labels need to start, you know what I'm saying, transitioning to something closer to that. Because what they're doing right now is very antiquated. It's very dinosaur. It's 1980 model that they haven't changed, that they need to change. But at the end of the day, like Mike said, downloading the shit is illegal. So if you want to go legally, the shit is illegal. Everybody in here should be locked up, clank, just like Mega Upload. So at the end of the day, if you want to go the legal route, then we all thieves. But at the same time, piracy helps and can hurt hip hop. It just depends on how. It just needs to evolve, and these companies need to be the ones that need to evolve.
But let me go back to something. 10 years ago, in warehouse music, you can go into that store and listen to an album. What's happening now is no different. The reason why the labels did not like that is because people would listen to it and do what? They would not buy it. Exactly. Right. So they wanted to get rid of that. Because why? They were not making money. They took the power of choice out of the consumer's hands. And this now today is the reaction to that. This is the consumer's way of basically, almost basically saying this is like, it's like a revenge, I guess.
Oh, come on!
Come on, man. There are thousands of
and the LA riots were really about Rodney King.
Oh,
Get
man,
the fuck out of here, man.
Thousands
You're
of people.
making poor excuses
No. There are thousands of people that I'm not making excuses. I'm not making excuses.
Reaction? You said it's a fucking 17-year-old.
Yes, it is a reaction.
Come on, man. Come on.
So you're not saying that for every action there is not a reaction. Is that not what you're saying?
No, Mr. Physics teacher, that's not what I'm fucking saying.
Then what are you saying? I'm saying
that you sound like a fucking hot topic.
I'm saying that this is
not this. What this is a bunch of kids who feel like they have the right to have free shit. It stops.
It's
there.
adults too.
Yes,
there are thousands of adults that have spent $20 fucking on an album where they only like one fucking song.
Then don't fucking buy it then.
And that's what they're doing. They're not fucking buying the shit.
The fucking song.
They're not gonna get online. Well, now they can. They have Spotify, but they're not gonna download. So now what they're doing now is they're downloading the shit and they're putting the shit on the hard drive and walking away from it.
When someone sees an album and they say, you know what? I want to see if I like this shit. I'm gonna go check it out real quick. And if they like it, they buy it. That's what you're thinking right now. The majority of people don't do that. Exactly. That's why you cannot sit and act like this is some fucking teenage rebellion. No, this is a bunch of immature fucking people that think they have a right to take free shit.
And why is that, Mike?
Because they're fucking greedy.
Because they were tired of spending $20 a month on their hard-earned money and being basically raped and ripped by the label.
15-year-old was tired of spending his hard-earned money.
The 25-year-old now was 15-year-old 10 years ago.
I said the 15-year-old now, Ken. The 15-year-old now that's downloading albums, he is not doing this because it's a rebellion of what happened 10 years ago. He's doing it because he doesn't want to fucking pay.
And we're including adults. Everybody is all encompassed in this conversation. Are they not?
The 15-year-old, explain him.
And I'm also saying the 15-year-old grew up in this climate. The 15-year-old learned from the adults, the 25-fucking-year-olds.
That's ridiculous.
At the end of the day, everything is about money.
Right.
Everything is about
it's not about ethics.
Exactly, because you just said it. Back in the day, 10 years ago at Warehouse Records, you could listen to the music before you bought it. And what happened? Companies didn't like that because they was losing money. Because they knew that a lot of the shit they put out is trash, you know what I'm saying, in a complete album format. And people were buying the shit off the strength of one or two songs and then get pissed the fuck off.
Right.
So that's the reason why they try to take away the choice of the consumer, because the consumer was making a choice of I'm not buying this bullshit.
That's what you said.
You see what I'm saying? So that's the reason why iTunes capitalized off of it. But the thing is
that
that
didn't translate into now with fucking teens.
No, it didn't translate to now.
Ridiculous.
You keep trying to
I just said I agree with you with the adults. I just said I agree with you with the adults, but explain the 15-year-old kid who's still
I said this is how you fucking grew up, dog.
How did they grow up that way when they're
because they grew up in the fucking internet age, dog.
I'm talking about explain the 15-year-old his logic of stealing. Explain that.
Because this is what they know, man. This is what they've seen when Napster came along.
There's no ethics whatsoever.
So the parents aren't teaching ethics.
Exactly. You're telling me the parents are saying, you know what? When I grew up, they took away the choice for me to listen, so therefore you should go steal albums. The 15-year-old is saying, you know what? I don't want to give this motherfucker my money. I want to save my money and go buy weed. I want to save my money and go buy a fucking Happy Meal. So therefore, I'm going to steal this album. That's what they're thinking.
Is that necessarily the case?
Yes! That is the case. Where in the fuck did you grow up? 15-year-olds
Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here, dog.
You sound ridiculous, kid.
No, you sound fucking ridiculous, man.
15-year-olds are stealing shit because they want to. Not because they grew up in this climate of, you know what, I think ethically, the regular...
They don't know anything else, Mike.
Yes, they do. They know that it's wrong to steal albums.
We encourage people to buy albums.